Hi, FlossTube Stitchers. No, I'm not the beach babe that I'm referring to in the title. Wouldn't it be nice to be at a beach right now, though, if any of you are having bad weather during this month of February? I've been to some nice beaches in my day, but the title refers to my framer, Bonnie S., as opposed to my friend Bonnie M., who also works here. But Bonnie loaned me two of her beach-themed models yesterday that she had framed recently. So that's why I decided not to wait to show them right away. And so I just called it Beach Babe. So she keeps threatening to retire to the beach someday, and I hope she gives me a lot of notice so I can give her some more framing to do. The first one is Stitching by the Sea from Scissortail Designs. And I did not take it out of the plastic yet. I'll explain why when I show you the second one. There are some really sweet little petite beads on there to give it some texture. And I love the rustic looking frame. It's so nice when they come in other shades besides just gray and brown. And Bonnie loves any shade of teal, whether it's bright or prim. It's just her favorite color. She loves the Florida vibe, I guess. So this is the one that I decided not to take out of the plastic until I was ready to hang it, because it has some delicate button placement on the frame. And this is Heart and Hand Needle Arts, Seaside Tiny Town. And Bonnie found these buttons on Etsy, and since she loves the beach so much, she wanted to use as many as she could on this and give a little more interest instead of doing a painted mat. So I just decided I didn't want to handle this any more than necessary until I was actually ready to put it on a nail. Okay, so that's my friend Bonnie the Beach Babe. Okay, I'm gonna get right into my freebie starts because there are 7 of them. Well, there's 6 starts and one that was already finished. So the first one is by the Jonty Fox. That's what the original looked like, and apparently this designer, who I don't know her name, it wasn't listed anywhere on the blog, but she was making limited edition kits at the time. All I know is that it was an R&R reproduction fabric. It kind of looks purple here. Maybe it was. She didn't list the name of the color or the count. And she used a combination of Belle Soie and the regular cotton from Classic Colorworks, but she didn't say the colors. I think because she was trying to sell her kits. The interesting thing is, I think this design is really cute. It's been on the back burner for a while, and when I went back to look at it on the blog, I was really surprised to see that there really wasn't anything else there. It's the only thing she did, unless she changed her name, but there's no link to any other site, and it's the only thing. You know, it's cute. I think there was potential there. So if anyone knows anything about the Jonty Fox, let me know. So I decided to do it on this Joblin. It's just a solid color from Witchelt. It's a Perman fabric, I guess. They're Joblin, and it's called, you know, I was going to have the tag right here, and I guess that's the one thing that didn't make it to my countertop here. Light Moss. So I guess moss was really dark, because this kind of looks like dark. It kind of looks like a greenish charcoal, but it's really old. It was discontinued. In fact, the handwriting on the tag was from my partner that I had for the first 8 years of business. So that was quite a number of years ago. I don't know when it was retired, but that's where these scraps of this fabric came from. And I knew I wanted to do it on 28 with 2 strands of floss, because there's a lot that comes on the skein of silk, and I knew, you know, that I would have enough to do it with 2 strands. So this looked close enough to the original. It may have been what she chose. I don't know when they released all of these colors, but this looked like the closest one to the picture, and that's how much I got done. I think that was just one night. That might have been 2 nights. And I did do a little bit of gridding. I've removed some of it as I didn't need it anymore. I did a little bit just because I decided to do the background first and then fill in the black and the yellow, which are probably going to be solid colors from NPI because I already have those in my stash. But I decided to do the background first so that the black would be nice and full looking stitches. So I wanted to do that last. And I thought I needed some gridding to help me keep my place. Okay, so that was the Jonty Fox. All right, I'll put that there. Okay, then that was day 5. Day 6 was Freedom from Barbara Anna Designs, and I'm doing this one. This one is also available in the same file, and you can get it by joining the Star Spangler Stitchers group on Facebook if you're into Facebook. It's one of 4 seasonal groups that were started by Teresa Curry of Needle Bling Designs, and there's some really nice designs in all 4 groups. So I worked on that. I think I worked on it for 2 nights, and that's what I had done so far. And it's just on a 32 count raw, and I'm using the original, let's see, what did it call? Just original DMC colors. So that is Freedom. Then day 7 was a chart that I've also had on the back burner for a while. And you know, I had some of these queued up to show you, and I just realized I don't have this one. But it's basically, well, you can go back and check my day 7, February 7th, and see the original picture because I included it in that photo on Facebook and Instagram. But there's 3 big fat strawberries down here in a brighter pink. So that's how much I got done in one night. The word strawberry and part of the checkerboard border. I'm a sucker for checkerboards. I really like them. And I am using, let's see if I can hold all this up at the same time. I'm using the 2-strand floss from Weeks Dye Works, and it is just perfect. It covers beautifully. You don't have any twisting of the 2 individual threads, and it doesn't fray or shred or get fuzzy or anything, you know, all the way down to the end of your length. And I changed the red because I think it was a gentle art, so I changed it to garnet, which would be the closest color available in the 2-strand. And then I need to pick out a green because that one also wasn't available. So I'll just pick whatever the rest of the colors I need, but at least the let's see, was that grits? The names are on the back. Oh no, it's whitewash, mascara, and garnet. So anyway, I have to order, I don't have any pink that will work, so I have to order one. I'll probably try to get it at market. All right, so that was Strawberry from Lizzie Kate, and it was put on her blog. I think, I can't remember what year I put it in my post, but it's also on her website. I can't remember what, it's, you know, it's a really old one, so it might have come as a newsletter freebie for us years ago, and I may have passed it out, but I couldn't find an original, but it is on the website, so you can easily get it there. Okay, next is He Is Risen by Sweet Wing Studio, and I'll just show you real quick. It is free, so I don't have any problem showing this, but that's what the whole thing looks like, and I obviously started in the middle. I wanted to get the cross done the first night, but I also got the lettering done. And I am using, I think, all of the original colors. It's a few DMC and then a couple Weeks Dye Works overdyed. And I don't think I had to, oh, I did have to change the gray because what they called for was too light for my fabric. Oh, and I didn't say what the fabric was. I didn't say what the fabric was for strawberry either. Sorry. This is Lakeside Linens 28 count patina. And it's actually from Stash, but not my stash. It was from my friend Bonnie M's stash. She's no longer using those counts, so she gave me some. So that was patina. And this is 32 Lucan, which is like my new favorite rustic looking fabric because it's white cotton in one direction and raw linen in the other, so it gives a really nice textural look to it. It looks homespun. Alrighty, and then day 9, day 9 was, let's see if I can, day 9 was Thankful Turkey. Oh shoot, I didn't practice holding this. There we go. Thankful Turkey from Colorado Cross Stitcher, and it's on her website. It comes as a PDF, and you just put it in your shopping cart. And if you're not buying anything else, it doesn't matter. It'll still go to your email, but she's not pressuring you to buy anything. So I knew I wanted, take a good look at that the quilted border at the bottom. I knew I wanted that to be bold. I wanted it to show up really nicely, so I wanted to use 2 strands on a, smaller, larger count fabric like a 14 or a 28. And my first thought was to use white tee from Color and Cotton because I have it in 28 count Cashel. It's just a beautiful neutral. I have had it since February of 2023. I've had it an entire year and nobody has bought a single piece of it. It's beautiful, but I sell the higher counts more often. So anyway, I could not bring myself to cut an 8x8 or 9x9 piece off this fabric that hadn't been cut into yet. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So I chose the next best thing. I don't know if it'll show up very well. Where'd that little piece of fuzz come from? I thought this was the next best thing. I don't know if you can see the variation, but it's Vintage Country Cream from Zweigart. It's from their printed line, so the back side is just, I don't know if it's white or antique white. Yeah, it's antique white on the back side. It's not quite as bright as white, but that's how much I got done in one night because it was on 14 and it was really easy and I just kept on going. And let's see, I already showed you what the whole thing looked like. And yeah, so I can't wait to get to the quilted border. And I just thought that doing a higher count and only using 1 strand, I was afraid that maybe some of the detail of the quilt would get lost. It looked like she used 2 strands on hers. It wasn't Vintage Country Mocha. It was a lighter fabric, kind of like this, that looked like it was coffee dyed, and maybe she had done that herself. But Sherry didn't have any information on the graph itself or on her Instagram post where she first showed it. Now, I didn't go back through the FlossTubes because she may have given more information in a FlossTube video, but I didn't go back and look. But anyway, Colorado Cross Stitcher. Okay, and then I think I have a picture of this ready to go. This is from Pantini. It was her free Christmas chart for 2021. Let's see if I can get that without too much glare. And it's a little, like a tart tin. And I love the way she did the trim. I want mine finished the same way. I want the pins in it and everything because the pins are from Pantini as well. And what I got done on the first day was this teeny weeny gingerbread man. So I decided to use what she called for, which is 36 count Vintage Country Mocha. I know it looked lighter in the picture, but the photograph, and then you're looking at a device, and it kind of looks gray in the picture, but she did use Vintage Country Mocha. So I used the teddy bear that she called for the gingerbread because I already had it in my stash. There was no reason to change it. It's kind of interesting the way the coloring came out. I started at the top, and that's just the way the thread went. And then I'm using icing instead of vanilla pudding because I already had icing, and also because it's brighter and because the name is icing, hello, so I need to use that for the little icing decorations on the gingerbread. So that should go pretty fast. There's some really pretty red berries, and I also have that. The color was poison apple. And I think I'm gonna change the green to something I already have because it's, you know, not that important of a decision to make. So that's that. Then so that was day 10, in case I haven't been saying the numbers. And then day 11 is something that I had already done years ago. The copyright of the chart is 2009. It's very likely that I did it that year because I was into, you know, doing free charts, but it might have been a little bit later on when I was searching and then I discovered it. The reason I stitched it on this fabric is because it came in a Fabric Automatic of the Month club years ago. Like they were the first ones that ever did this. And it was 28 count Romantic Interlude, which is an overdyed Lugana from Silk Weaver, and it is still on Needleworkers Delight website. I looked it up, so it's still available. It's called Lovely You by Plum Street Samplers. I don't know if I would stitch that now, or maybe I would change it to blue. Or maybe more of a garnet color. The only reason I did it on the purple and I used grape water lilies is probably because I was trying to use up the fabric. Remember I said last time that my customers weren't really into stitching on colors at that time. So some of these overdyes kind of, you know, came as a shock and we would get yardage of it. And so I may have done it for that reason. I probably did it for that reason, and then I kitted it. And water lilies was like the very first overdyed silk that we carried because they had been around even longer than our shop. Some of the other companies are newer. So we would have, you know, we would do a sheet like this, and then we would put the information about what we stitched it on and the threads and all that. And then we would have kits of it. These were always free, but we had kits aside if they wanted to do it in our color combination. For some things, like there might be some Easter things I show you later in the season where we did multiple color combinations, and that was really fun. Like if the same fabric was available in several colors that were really good for that theme, we might do different packs. So anyway, those were good times. I'll have to get back to doing that again. I think the issue now is my customers stitch on so many things, it would be hard to have kits available for everybody's taste. So I got out of the habit of doing that. I used to do it when something was available in either Lugana and Aida or linen and Aida, and then I would have, you know, both styles available. So that was Lovely You. It is on her website. I think it's on her blog because she started a new website later on. So the link will be in the show notes and on today's Facebook and Instagram posts. All right, so that was the end of my starts. And then I had one finish. So one other night, I worked on an Autumn Night by GPA, Giulia Punti Antichi, and I finished that. So I was pleased. I think that makes 6 finishes so far this year. You know, they were all small, but still, I have to claim every victory when I have it because I always feel like I have too many little projects going that I even forget about them. All right, so that's that. Then we had 2 automatics that came. Heartstring Samplery had 3 new charts. This is the start of a new series called Americana Mamas, and this is Lady Columbia. I just love both of these, and I love them as pillows. I must admit that I don't remember learning about Lady Columbia, so it was very interesting to read what she wrote. And if you don't mind, I'll just read a few things. Columbia was an historical name applied to the Americas and the New World. In early depictions from the 16th century, she was half dressed in bright feathers, often holding a parrot and seated on an alligator. As Europeans began to colonize what would eventually become the United States of America, her appearance shifted to a young woman wearing classically draped garments decorated with stars and stripes. Her headdress varied, but was most often a cap of liberty. And then when Columbia Pictures adopted this as its logo in 1924, that's when she started appearing with the torch, which kind of makes her look like the Statue of Liberty. And it was, something different. But there's some poetry in here and this history about the poet. And anyway, this is going to be a really cool series. So I enjoyed reading about that. Then she has A Ship for Mary, which is a reproduction sampler. And let's see. The first, both of these charts were 12. And obviously that was the original. Yes, that was the original. This is her reproduction. And she did hers on 36 hog bristle from Fox and Rabbit with classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. And then For the Love of Stitching has 4 different projects in there. This is 20. And she used 32 count Oaken from Picture This Plus, but really any neutrally beige color would work there. And this time it was Classic Colorworks and the Gentle Art. Then Stitching with the Housewives had Cottontail cross stitch. Very cute. I'd like to do one of those bunnies just by himself, or maybe holding a flower. So that's cute. And then the monthly weigh-in for April. And these are all 10. And then in the Welcome Home series, she has Spring. All right, and then let's see, is that all I was going to? The giveaway this time for US Stitchers is Smitten You by Bent Creek. It's a complete kit with the 18 or 20, I forget which, or maybe, no, this might be 25 count Dublin. I think they use 25 count for their sheep, and it comes with all the thread. Yeah, it's because it's basic floss rather than pearl cotton. So anyway, this also was a donation from Bonnie M. So you can thank Bonnie so far for all of our Valentine giveaways. She was just cleaning out, and she said, she thought about doing it on a different count fabric, but since it came with the fabric and it was kitted, she just donated it. She'd had it for that long and hadn't stitched it yet, so what are the chances? So if you could, I don't want to do anything about Valentine's Day. My husband and I don't even celebrate. In fact, this week we're going to a funeral on Valentine's Day. So I don't want to do that as a question, but I didn't think of something. Tell me your favorite Bent Creek if you've ever stitched a Bent Creek. I may have asked that before, but what the heck, we'll do that again. So do that, and then the random number generator will pick something next week. And then for last week's giveaway, which was the Katie did and the Raspberry Hand-Dyed Joblin, the winner was Edith McClanahan. Well, I keep saying it wrong. McClanahan. And she said there's no celebrities in her town. So I had asked if you had ever met a celebrity or anybody from your hometown. And somebody lives where Janine is from the Blue Flower. Gail, I don't know if this is her actual name or if this is a made-up name for YouTube, but it was Gail Pack. She actually met Anderson Cooper at a restaurant at breakfast, and he came over and introduced his son. And I wrote back to her and said, I love listening to Anderson Cooper interviewed on the talk shows because he just seems like such a nice guy, such a decent, normal guy, for having celebrity status and coming from a famous family. Anyway, somebody mentioned celebrities on the Outer Banks. The actor John Goodman owns a local restaurant in somebody's town. Mary Engelbright, LeBron James, and Chris Daughtry, who was an American Idol winner, and Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood had a second home someplace where one of the daughters was going to college. So I thought it was fun, but only one person had actually met somebody, and there was only one cross-stitch designer mentioned. So maybe it was just because you weren't interested in the giveaway, or maybe it's because you used FlossTube instead of going to retreats. I don't know. But it was fun to read everybody's comments. So I think I got through that pretty well. I only have to cut out like one little thing. A reminder about Nashville Cash. They're available in increments of $25. I think next time I'm going to do a market prep video, and if I don't have enough to talk about personally, I might throw some pictures at the end of things that I know I'm getting, either because I'm on the automatic or because people have already pre-ordered them, so I already have a list going. So I'll do that, and then next week the giveaway will be one of these. So stay tuned, you'll have to watch that one. All right, so maybe some of you were watching the Super Bowl this evening. I didn't think about the fact that my neighbors at the sports card shop might be watching it on their big screen TV, even though they're closed at this time. But luckily, they didn't make too much noise and it didn't affect my video at all. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight or tomorrow morning, Rhonda. And we will see you next week, catch you up on the rest of my Freebie Februaries, and talk about some market prep. Okay, bye-bye.